What's up, everyone? Helium here. And the first thing I'm going to address is I'm not sure if this video is going to be on my channel or my wife's channel. Reason for that being is this is not a video that I would normally put up on my channel, but it may end up there anyway. This is more akin to the one-off video I did on meditation. Before we get started on it, I am going to address a couple of things, give some knowledge about myself. One, in 5 days from the time of recording this video, I will be 40 years old. I started studying witchcraft, metaphysics, and the occult, and things like that when I was 18. I've studied a lot. Something I normally keep off of my channel, but for this video, I figured giving the information is relevant. I would be considered what you would call an eclectic pagan, leaning more towards ancient Egyptian, but I have studied as well ancient Greece and ancient Norse practices, as well as several other practices around the world. I started out studying religion itself, all of them. So today, Lilith has been, well, she didn't do this today. She's been wanting me to do a book reading on the channel. So if it ends up on mine, hey, she got away. Keep the wife happy. But for years I've said, no, I want my channel just gaming, occasional vlog. Then something kind of started nagging at me while talking to a guy I work with. And an idea popped in my head, and it's like, yeah, I think I'm going to do it. And that is to do a book reading of this book. Now, this book is one that, if you are into metaphysics, witchcraft, any of that, you probably have heard of it. You may not have ever had a copy of it or anything, but it is The Keys of Solomon. It is by Samuel Lindell McGregor Mathers. That's a heck of a name. Forwarded by Joseph H. Peterson. Now, we're going to be skipping over a couple of parts of the book, mainly the preface, the foreword, preliminary discussion. Be skipping over those, definitely. There are a lot of diagrams in this book, and you will get to see them on screen. I'll try to sync them up with when I'm talking about them, or if not, then they will just, be put throughout the section of them. So, that being said, let's jump into this and see where this goes. Okay, to begin with, the image you're seeing on screen right now is a chart of the magical alphabet. Feel free to pause, screenshot, something you might find interesting. Now, as I said, we are going to be skipping over the foreword, the preface, and the preliminary discourse of the book. Mostly because that all has a lot to do with the fact that the Key of Solomon was not wrote by Solomon, unlike previous generations in the past who believed it was. There is a debate going on about who did write it, when it was actually wrote. It's, I think they say in here, was wrote, yeah, sometime around the early 1300s, but, that's open to debate. I do suggest going out and buying a copy of this book if you do not already have one, because I will mispronounce things. Sorry, it's going to happen. Also, it would give you a clearer, better look at the charts and everything you'll see it on here. And I do recommend reading the foreword and all that in the book, but for YouTube, I do not think it would be beneficial to the video. So, let us jump into the introduction. Treasure up, O my son Rehoboam, the wisdom of my words, seeing that I, Solomon, have received it from the Lord. Then answered Rehoboam and said, How have I deserved to follow the example of my father Solomon? In such things, who hath been found worthy to receive the knowledge of all living things, through the teachings of an angel of God? And Solomon said, Hear, O my son, and receive my sayings, and learn the wisdom of God. For on a certain night, when I laid me down to sleep, I called upon the most holy name of God. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this. It's spelled I-A-H, so have fun with that one. It's not that it's hard to pronounce, but I would probably mutilate it with the fact that I have no teeth. Sorry. And I prayed for the ineffable wisdom. And when I was beginning to close my eyes, the angel of the Lord, even Homadale, appeared unto me, spake many things courteously unto me, and said, Listen, O Solomon, thy prayer before the Most High is not in vain, and since thou hast asked neither for long life, nor for much riches, nor for the souls of thine enemies, but hast asked for thyself wisdom to perform justice, thus saith the Lord, according to thy words, I have given unto thee a wise and understanding heart, so that before thee was none like unto thee, nor ever shall arise. And when I comprehended the speech which was made unto me, I understood that in me was the knowledge of all creatures, both things which are in the heavens and things which are beneath the heavens. And I saw that all the writings and wisdoms of this present age were vain and futile, and that no man was perfect. And I composed a certain work wherein I rehearsed the secret of secrets, in which I have preserved them hidden, and I have also therein concealed all secrets whatsoever of magical arts, of any masters, any secrets or experiments, namely, of those sciences which is in any way worth being accomplished. Also, I have written them in this key, so that like as a key openeth a treasure house, so this key alone may open the knowledge and understanding of magical arts and sciences. Pause right there. I love the fact that magical arts and sciences are grouped together, because I'm a firm believer that a lot of the ancient magical knowledge of the world is actually just science that we haven't rediscovered yet. But let's go. Therefore, O my son, thou mayest see every experiment of mine or of others, and let everything be properly prepared for them, as thou shalt see properly set down by me, both day and hour, and all things necessary, for without this there will be but falsehood and vanity in this my work, wherein are hidden all secrets and mysteries which can be performed, and that which is set down concerning a single divination or a single experiment. I do apologize for the cough. That same, I think, concerning all things which are in the universe, and which have been, and which shall be in future times. Therefore, O my son Rehoboam, or how do you pronounce it, I command thee by the blessing which thou acceptest from thy father, that thou shalt make an ivory casket, and therein place and keep and hide this my key. And when I shall have passed away, unto my fathers, I entrust thee to place the same in my sepulchre, beside me, lest at another time it may fall into the hands of the wicked. And as Solomon commanded, so was it done. Question if it was put in with, I'm assuming they meant put in with his coffin. Then how do we have it? And when therefore men had waited for a long time, and they came unto the sepulchre certain Babylonian philosophers, and when they had assembled, they at once took counsel together that a certain number of men should renew the sepulchre in his Solomon's honor. And when the sepulchre was dug out and, I guess not a coffin, and repaired, the ivory casket was discovered, and therein was the key of secrets, which they took with joyful minds. And when they had opened it, none among them could understand it on account of the obscurity of the words and their occult arrangement, and the hidden characters of the sense and knowledge, for they were not worthy to possess this treasure. Then therefore arose one among them, more worthy than the others, both in the sight of the gods, by reason of his age, who was called Eloi, I-O-H, and then E with a little squiggle over it, grievous, and said unto the others, unless we shall come and ask the interpretation from the Lord with tears and entreaties, we shall never arrive at the knowledge of it. Therefore, when each of them had retired to his bed, the old dude with the weird name, indeed falling upon his face on the earth, began to weep and strike his breast, said, what have I deserved above others, seeing that so many men can neither understand nor interpret this knowledge, even though there were no secret thing in nature which the Lord hath hidden from me? Wherefore are these words so Wherefore are these words so obscure? Wherefore am I so ignorant? Important thing. One should always recognize one's own ignorance, no matter how intelligent one is. Recognizing one's own ignorance, honestly recognizing it, is the beginnings of steps that lead towards wisdom. Sorry, I'll try to keep my rants to being short. And then, on his bended knee, stretched his hands to heaven and said, O God, the creator of all, thou who knowest all things, who gavest the great wisdom unto Solomon, the son of David, the king, grant unto me, I beseech thee, O holy, omnipotent, and ineffable Father, to receive the virtue of that wisdom, so I may become worthy of, by thine aid, to attain upon the understanding of this key of secrets. And immediately there appeared unto him the angel of the Lord, saying, Do thou remember, if the secrets of Solomon appear hidden and obscure unto thee, that the Lord hath wished it, so that such wisdom may not fall into the hands of wicked men. Therefore do thou promise unto me that thou art not willing that so great wisdom should ever come by any living creature, and that which thou revealest unto any, let them know that they must keep it unto themselves. Otherwise the secrets are profaned, and no effect can follow. And I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his name anymore. Sorry. Old dude answered, I promise unto thee that to none will I reveal them, save to the honor of the Lord, and which with much discipline unto penitent, secret, and faithful persons. Then answered the angel, Go and read the key, and its words which were obscure therefore shall be manifest unto thee. And after this the angel ascended to heaven in a flame of fire. Then old dude was glad and labored with a clear mind, understood that which the angel of the Lord had said, and saw that the key of Solomon was changed, so that it appeared quite clear unto him plainly in all parts. And the old dude understood that this work might fall into the hands of the ignorant. And he said, I conjure him upon whose hands the secret may come, by the power of the Creator and his wisdom, that in all things he may desire, intend, and perform, that this treasure may come unto no unworthy person, nor may he manifest it unto any who is unwise, nor unto one who feareth not God. Because if he act otherwise, I pray God that he may never be worthy to obtain unto the desired effect, and so he disputes the key which Solomon preserved in the ivory casket. But the words of the key are as follows, divided into 2 books and shown in order. Introduction 2. O my son, Roban, or Roban. For the record, it's Robam. Seeing that of all sciences there is none more useful than the knowledge of celestial movements, I have thought it my duty, being at the point of death, to leave thee an inheritance more precious than all the riches which I have enjoyed, and in order that thou mayest understand how I arrived at this degree of wisdom, it is necessary to tell thee that one day, when I was meditating upon the power of the Supreme Being, the angel of the great God appeared before me as I was saying, Oh, how wonderful are the works of God! I suddenly beheld at the end of a thickly shaded vista of trees a light in the form of a blazing star, which said unto me with a voice of thunder, Solomon, Solomon, be not dismayed, the Lord is willing to satisfy thy desire by giving thee knowledge of whatsoever things is most pleasant unto thee. I order thee to ask of him whatsoever thou desirest. Whereupon, recovering from my surprise, I answered unto the angel that, accordingly to the will of the Lord, I only desired the gift of wisdom, and by the grace of God I obtained in addition the enjoyment of all the celestial treasures and the knowledge of all natural things. It is by this means, my son, that I possess all the virtues and riches of which thou now seest me in the enjoyment. And in order that thou mayest be willing to be attentive to all which I am about to relate to thee, and that thou mayest retain with a care all that I am about to tell thee, I assure thee that the graces of the great God will be familiar unto thee, and that the celestial and terrestrial creatures will be obedient unto thee, and a science which only works by the strength and power of natural things, and by the pure angels which govern them, of which latter I will give thee the names in order, their exercises and particular employments, to which they are destined, together with the days over which they particularly preside, in order that thou mayest arrive at the accomplishment of all, which thou wilt find in this my testament, in all which I promise thee success, provided that all thy works only tend unto the honor of God, who hath given me the power to rule, not only over terrestrial beings, also over celestial beings, that is to say, over the angels. of whom I am able to dispose accordingly to my will, and to obtain from them certain considerable services. Firstly, it is necessary for thee to understand that God, having made all things in order that they may be submitted unto him, hath wished to bring his works to perfection by making one which participates of the divine and of the terrestrial, that is to say, man, whose body is gross and terrestrial, while his soul is spiritual and celestial. Upon him he hath made subject the whole earth and its inhabitants, and hath given unto him means by which he may render the angels familiar. As I call these celestial creatures who are destined, some to regulate the motion of the stars, others to inhabit the elements, others to aid and direct men, and others again to sing continuously the praises of the Lord. Thou mayest then, by the use of the seals and characters, render them familiar unto thee, provided that thou abuse not this privilege by demanding from them things which are contrary to their nature. For accursed be he who will take the name of God in vain, and who will will employ for evil purposes the knowledge and good wherewith he hath enriched us. I command thee, my son, to carefully engrave in thy memory all that I say unto thee, in order that it may never leave thee. If thou dost not intend to use for a good purpose the secrets which I here teach thee, I command thee rather to cast this testament into the fire, than to abuse the power thou wilt have of constraining the spirits. For I warn thee that the beneficent angels, weary and fatigued by thine illicit demands, would to thy sorrow execute the commands of God, as well as to that of all such who with evil intent would abuse the secrets which he hath given and revealed unto me. Think not, however, O my son, that it would not be permitted thee to profit by the good fortune and happiness that the divine Spirit can bring thee. On the contrary, it gives them great pleasure to render service to man, for whom many of these spirits have great liking and affinity, God having destined them for the preservation and guidance of those terrestrial things which are submitted to the power of man. There are different kinds of spirits according to the things over which they preside. Some of them govern the empyrean heavens, other the empyrean mobile, while the first and second crystalline, others the starry heaven. There are also spirits of the heaven of Saturn, which I call Saturnites. There are Jovial, Martinel, Solar, Venerian, Mercellera, the lunar spirits. There are also spirits in the elements, as well as in the heavens. There are some in the Fey regions, others in the air, others in the water, and others upon the earth, which can all render service to that man who shall have the good fortune to understand their nature, and to know how to attract them. Furthermore, I wish to make thee understand that God hath destined to each one of us a spirit which watches over us and takes care of our preservation. These are called Jinni, who are sorry about that, getting tongue-tied here, who are elemental, like us, and who are more ready to render service to those whose temperament is conformed with the element which these genii inhabit. For example, shalt thou be of a fiery temperament, that is to say, sanguine, thou genius would be fury and submitted to the empire of Bel. Besides this, there are special times reserved for the invocations of the spirits, in the days and hours which they have power and absolute empire. It is for this reason that thou wilt see in the following tablets to what planet and to what angel each day and hour is submitted, together with the colors which belong unto them, the metals, the herbs, plants, aquatics, aerials, and terrestrial animals, and incense which are proper to each of them, and also in what quarter of the universe they ask to be invoked. Neither are omitted the conjectural seals, characters, and divine letters which belong to them, by means of which we receive the power of sympathetic with these spirits. Now, for the record, the tables it is mentioning are the tables that you have been seeing for this part of the recording. But I do want to thank you all. That is all the time I have for this recording today. The next time when we continue this, we will start with Book 1, Chapter 1. So I do want to thank you all for watching. If you have enjoyed this, please do hit the like button down below. Subscribe to whichever channel you're watching this on. Hit that notification bell so that you will know when one of us puts a video up. Again, I do want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.